In this short video, I want to introduce you to using purchased or handmade plastic stencils and using them in screen printing on either fabric or paper. I'm Susan Purney Mark. I'm a textile and surface design artist, and I want to show you how simple it really is without a lot of fancy equipment to create interesting and engaging designs on fabric. Now let's go on and look at some stencils that are cut from stencil plastic or mylar. This is a stencil that I cut myself following the lines of the design that I had underneath it as a paper pattern. And if I want to use this, I can tape it down to the back of the screen. Keep in mind that I haven't got a perfect match to the edge of the stencil and the edge of the screen, so at some point I'm going to lose some of that design. Another one was actually far too small for my stencil, or for my screen. The stencil is actually only this size, and it had a design on the side plus a little hang tag that I didn't want in my pattern. So I've taped paper to the stencil and masked off areas so that the only open area is this little rose design in the center, so in here as the little design that I want to use. And I've got some blue paint, I've got a vibrant fabric, and I can just put the paint in there. So here it is from the other side, and I'm ready to do some printing on the fabric. I've got a bright blue that will show up nicely, and I want to have the roses straight across the fabric, but I want to come across this way, so I am going to have to bend around a little bit to get the print done properly. Now, of course, you only need the paint for where the design is. There's no point in putting paint down in this part of the well, so I can move across. It's a bit awkward, but it's not bad. I missed a little bit. There we go. And there's my little rose design. And I can stagger it around, making as many prints across the fabric as I want. And I can just keep going here. Now, a couple of things I wanted to show you with this is on one or two areas I think I've got too much paint. I did 2 passes, and so I deposited a little too much paint for my liking. Sometimes that'll happen. So really, if that happens, you can just go back, lay a piece of paper over top, and gently pick up a little extra paint, and then you have a design on paper if you want to use it later. Also, if I wanted to keep on moving, but I had problems with the screen going over top and picking up some of the paint on the bottom, I could cover this and cover this, and then come back and put my flower in the middle there and screen it so that I'm not worried about the paint from the other flowers hitting the back of the screen. So that's a way to avoid that part. And there we go. So we can print over and over again. I could move to different colors and so on. So that's a way to use stencils. Keep in mind that you want very thin mylar stencils. The thicker stencils that you might be using for stenciling on walls or something like that, are generally too thick. Keep it really thin or the paint won't go through onto the fabric. So next we'll move on to using freezer paper masks on our fabric with our silk screen.